Hello, and welcome back to Maximum Technology. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the basics of HTML and CSS. If you don't know what those are basically the core programming languages. If you consider HTML a programming language, most people do not. It's a hypertext markup language, and CSS is just used for the design of that. But they're fundamental in making the actual website. So any website you visit has HTML and CSS. They probably also use JavaScript and maybe even SQL, but we're just going to learn the basics of HTML in this video. So to start, you're going to need to install something called Visual Studio Code. Now you can download that by going to Visual Studio Code and then downloading it. Just get the free version and that'll work perfectly. So once you have that installed, we can just come here and create a new folder. In this folder, we're going to call it HTML and CSS Basics. Now what we can do is open Visual Studio Code and give it a second to load all the content here. And once it's loading, or once it's done loading, we can click Open Folder up here. And we're just going to go to our desktop or wherever you stored it and choose that folder. It currently has no content in it, so let's add some files. Let's remove the welcome screen and come over here and hit this plus page and put index.html. Now, the first or home page really is going to be called the index.html. That's a core page you need, so make sure that your home page is called index.html. Next, create another one and call it styles.css. This is where you'll write the design for this file. So now we need some basic HTML structure. And we can do that by typing we can do this and then hit a tab. So that was I was using Emmet, which comes pre-installed with Visual Studio Code. So if you missed that, just put an exclamation point and then put tab. Make sure it's selected, then put tab. And this will give you all the basic structure of HTML. Now, right here in the title, we're just going to call it the same thing we called our actual folder, so HTML and CSS Basics. And this is all set. We don't need to put anything up here except, right under this, let's make sure to put a link here. Link rel, and we'll just put style sheet, and we'll put an href tag for our actual file over here, which is styles.css, and close that off. So now these two are linked together, and the changes we make in this will go into here. Hit Command S to save that, and to open our website up in a browser, just open your browser. I'm going to use Safari. And here you can go up to File and hit Open File. Now we're going to want to go to our desktop and choose HTML and CSS Basics, but hit the drop down and choose your index.html. Even if you have a bunch of other files, you always want to choose the index.html. Click Open, and here is your actual website. Now this is not live on the internet. This is only a file you can access. If you want to put it on the internet, you obviously need more content, but also you need web hosting, which will host your website on the internet. Almost all of them do cost money, but some of the cheapest ones are like Hostlinger or HostGator. I'd recommend HostGator, and I'll be coming out with another video on how to do all that hosting stuff, because it can be kind of complex, but HostGator can really help you, and I'll make a video to help you if you need that too. Anyway, here's our website, and it has nothing on it yet, but you've officially created your first website. Now let's just add some content. So in the body tags here, let's put some spacing and then make what's called an H1 tag. Now this H1 tag is a header tag, and it's the biggest header you can get. So let's just put welcome. Hit Command S, come back in here and hit reload. Now we see welcome displayed on our website. Now, this doesn't look too pretty because we haven't used any CSS. But if we were to come into our CSS and just put some basic template CSS is what it's called. You just put an asterisk and then some curly brackets, and we will just immediately make margin 0 and padding 0 just to remove all of that from the website, and it's easier for us to design all the other elements. Now what we're going to want to do is select our H1 tag, and we're just going to want to let's change the font family to maybe sans serif. Hit Command S again, and whoops, come into here and reload. Now you can see that this is pressed right against the corners, and a second ago it was not. That's because we removed all the margin and padding from the website. So we could actually move the H1, so we can put text align is what it's called, center. Reload it again, and now this is right at the center, but it's still pressed against the top. But I think this looks alright right now. So let's come back into our index, and we can also use an H2 tag, which is almost the same thing, just smaller. So let's say welcome, then we'll put to my website. Command S, come back and reload. To my website is over here too. So now, if I'll just show you all the H tags. So there's H3, oops, H3, H4, H5, and H6. Now, generally, you will not be using anything past maybe H3. It's kind of rare to use H4, H5, and H6, but if we were to, let's just put some random text in all of these, just so we can see how it would look. We don't want a comma, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. And then hit Command S again to save it, and reload. You can see it gets from big to smaller to smaller to smaller. Now, like I said, you won't be using anything past this, which is the H3. Likely. I mean, you could, but it's not very common. So let's get rid of these, and the next thing we're going to look at is, well, actually, we can keep just the H1, 2, and 3, because those are the common ones. Let's put something else here. Just put some random text in there, save it, and let's stylize these too. So put H2, curly brackets. Let's make the font family something like, I don't know, cursive. And then we'll text align center as well. Now let's do H3. Font family. Let's do a different one. Let's do like fantasy. And then text align, we're also going to do center. Now, I keep going over there. I usually have my windows open over there. Sorry. So now if we reload, we see all of our content. So we have the cursive, we have the fantasy, and we have the sans serif. And all of this is right where we want it. The final thing we're going to learn about is changing the background color of our website. Now, if you want to do that, you can actually just come in here and make a body, put this and say background color aqua. It can be any color you like, obviously, but I'm just going to put aqua. And our background turns aqua. Now, since we put this in a body, the whole website on any page we go to is going to be aqua colored. However, if we wanted a specific page aqua colored, we would have other files here, and we could have it specifically be the background color we want on each individual page. We're not going to get into all that here, so I think this is fine. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you some other basic fundamentals for HTML and CSS, and eventually we'll progress, and I'll just start making some tutorials on how to do cool different things to emulate your website. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you liked it, please subscribe and like this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.